Yeah, remember how you Sarah, and then the next thing you're like, does she even like me, bro? That's the age of attachment, bro. Yeah, that's you. That's you. You're actually attached to Sarah, bro.
But actually, you could just look at the situation and be like, she had sex with me.
Yeah, you gotta be objective, man. Your penis was in her vagina. So you good, bro. High five.
So funny. Hi, and welcome to Nice to Meet You, your comedy podcast about Asian culture. I am your host, Evelyn Mock.
And I'm your co-host, Nigel. Almost messed up there again.
I forgot. I always get, but it's because I'm not you. First of all, I have to keep a track on when the intro ends. And so because it's remote, I have to look at you. And so I'm like, oh, okay, now I have to talk. And then I'm like, oh no, what am I supposed to say? Because I've been thinking about when do I need to talk? When do I need to talk? And then when you do that, I'm like, oh no, I panic. It's such a panic.
It's okay. Maybe you'll change the intro next time to be like whatever you want to say. Welcome to, how are you, Nigel? How are you? You can start any way you want to start.
This is Evelyn Mock.
Yeah, me, Evelyn. Me, Evelyn, him, Nigel. Welcome. Who needs a proper intro?
Nobody needs a proper intro.
We don't need to tell them what the podcast is about.
No.
It's usually about Evelyn's dating life nowadays, I realize, this podcast. Because as a good friend, I want to see her find happiness. You know, even though your dating stories frustrate me. But I'm
Why?
Because I've been doing this longer than you have, I guess. And then I see that you're like making small baby steps.
Yeah.
Making small baby steps.
Yeah, I'm waddling. Waddling towards dick.
Not a bad way to go towards dick. You know, you don't want to be moving too fast like towards dick.
Waddle like a baby towards dick.
Yeah.
Ew.
What do you want to be pouncing towards dick like a cheetah? You don't want that.
Is that scary for dicks to be pounced on?
Not for me, but for most regular guys, probably. If someone pounces on me, I'm like, oh, come here, baby, let's do it. You're keen, all right. Pounce on me harder, baby.
Oh my God. Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
But yes, I guess that's what everybody wants to know. Like,
Evelyn finally went on a date.
Okay. It's like, I just find this extreme. Why did I bring it up on the podcast? First of all, I had an AMA this weekend, and I was like, oh, people kept asking me about the date, and I was like, oh yeah. They know because I've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big occurrence. Okay. First date in, 8 years? There are meteor showers happen more frequently than that.
Oh, come on.
Okay? So people talk about meteor showers.
Come on.
You know, and solar eclipses happen more often than that. Maybe once every 6 years or 7 years or something, right? So, of course, people are interested because, ooh, but if I talk about going on a date, people are like, nah, we're bored, we heard this, we know you do, Nigel. We want to hear Evelyn's date, not yours.
Actually, it's true because my friends, like the reaction from my friends when they found out that I went on a date, they were like, oh my God, what?
This broken person's going on a date? Wow.
It's like because I talked about it at my friend's baby shower and people were more interested in that than the baby shower.
Yeah. That's a bad side. That's how broken you are. You're like, oh my God, fuck the baby. Fuck the baby.
Kidding.
Tell us about your date. Wow, Evelyn's making, you're like, I think even if the baby started talking, they'll still be like, no, this is still more impressive. Evelyn going on a date.
Talking from the womb. If the baby started talking from the womb. Yeah.
Like, shut up, baby. Shut up, Evelyn. Auntie Evelyn's going on a date. Shut up. Stop kicking like, mommy. I'm listening to Evelyn on the date story.
And the baby's like, yeah, I just want to know what happened. Auntie Evelyn's going on a date? What? Oh my God. It was very funny. Yes, but okay. So I went on a date, everybody, and it was with the sea captain.
Yeah.
Actually, a bad sign because I asked him about being a sea captain. He's like, "Well, I'm not a sea captain. I'm a machine engineer who works at sea." I was like, "Oh, okay."
So you got
Okay.
catfished. You got catfished.
I got catfished. But then I was like, oh, so are you basically, if you were on the Titanic, would you be the guys who were shuffling coal into the engine? And he was like, yeah, basically. He's like, yeah, I would die first. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But basically, so I went on a lunch date with this guy, and it was for 2:00 in the afternoon, and it was in the opposite side of town in an area that I don't really like. And it's an area that takes quite a while to get to with public transport. So it took me like 45 minutes or something, which is highly unusual in Gothenburg because it's so small.
Yeah.
It's so small. So, and the thing is, I can see it because we're between the river. So the place that I was going to go to is on the other side of the canal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see it from where I live, but I can't get to it. I have to go through town and go like that. And so, yeah, it was annoying. But so that was the first thing that I could have pounced on, because here's the thing.
Before you pounce on a dick, you pounce on the location first. Wow. Yeah, the impression of a tiger. Very bad impression. Sorry. I realized this interruption was very needless. My bad. Let's ignore what I just said. Let's carry.
Is this an unusual show of like embarrassment for Nigel Ung?
Well, not everything I say is gonna be good. I apologize, listeners. We're talking for an hour each week. Not everything's gonna be good.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not everything's gonna be good. I'm glad you realized it, Nigel.
But I try to entertain. All right. Sorry. Finish your
just
story.
sitting here. I was like,
that's more
okay,
interesting.
he's interrupted. I'm just gonna let him make this tiger sound.
we established if I don't interrupt at all, it doesn't work either. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we need
that's true.
strategic interrupting. Not too much, not too little.
Interrupting.
Yes.
And also, by the way, you said you're like, it's either, you're like, what? I'm supposed to listen and then interrupt? I'm like, it's not either or, it's a conversation. That's how a conversation works. You listen and then you add stuff.
And then you interrupt. Yeah, to me, that's all count as interruption.
Okay. So, so the thing is, I've realized that basically the period when we set a date and then before the date, that's always the time period when I'm the most uncomfortable, because I hate it. I hate, I just get so anxious because I feel I'm like, why did we have to make this a thing? Why couldn't we just why couldn't we just be friends and see where it goes? I just hate that it's been made a thing. And it's probably because of my attachment style. I'm a fearful avoidant. Thank you. Thank you very much. All the social workers out there, that's for you. But it's just I just get so anxious basically leading up to the date. But then I realize when I'm there, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I even have some game. I'm very cool. It's I'm pretty good.
I don't think people who have game will say this. I don't think people who have game go I think I have game, very good. Very good on dates. Very charming. No one has more charm than me. For someone who went on the first date in 8 years, you are charming, but I highly doubt that you nailed it. Okay, I highly doubt it. You're out of practice.
Oh my God!
It's like when you first start doing stand-up, you think you're doing great because you got a few chuckles.
So
and
I'm
then
an open micer.
5 years down the line, you're like, oh, that was bad. That was bad.
Nigel, I was just going to liken it to stand-up.
Yeah.
I was just going to liken it to stand-up because I was just going to say, because the thing is with stand-up, when you are waiting, about to go on, you are terrified. It's just nerves all around. But then once you get on stage, you're like, fine, this is cool. It wasn't that bad. And then you just, work the room. And that's how I feel with dates, basically. I'm like, oh, this is totally cool. Oh, I'll run this situation. But that's how I am. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever.
Okay.
But so I I arrive and I walk in and immediately I'm like, oh no.
Why?
because
He can't
because
fish you again with his looks.
No. He looked exactly like he did.
Okay.
But the thing was, immediately when I walked in, I was like, we're not going to click.
Why?
Which maybe is presumptuous of me, but because I was like, oh, kind of like I did it again, because he is basically the type that he's basically a very Gothenburgian archetype, which is like the kind of Swedish hipster guy who's kind of ironic, and his sense of humor is going to be very Swedish, and all of that stuff. And okay, obviously that's just what went through my mind when I saw him. And then I was like, we're going to talk and we're going to, get along. But then I was like, yeah, it's true. Yeah. And I realized that I choose those types of people because I think that those are the types of people that will match me. And I realized that, it's not, because we don't have anything in common. I like in my sense of humor, I'm more like American. I'm more, maybe kind of.
What's a Gothenburgian sense of humor? What did he joke about? Oh, the fishing trip was so good today. Yeah, I caught a big fish. We live in a fishing port, so yeah. My wife was so impressed by a big fish. I think it's going to save our marriage. I caught a big cod today. This cod is going to save our marriage. Is that?
I mean, yeah, if he started joking about his marriage, that would have been bad.
Was that a Gothenburgian humor? How's your catch today, Olaf? Oh,
Olaf?
I think
this isn't Frozen.
I think of Swedish names. I think of Swedish names. Oh, it was as big as an IKEA dining table.
It would be Olaf.
Sven.
Olaf. Not Olaf. I've never heard Olaf in my life.
Whatever. I'm trying to make fun of you, not be accurate. I'm trying to bully Swedish people. I'm trying to stereotype them.
Bully.
I don't care about being accurate here.
That's so funny. Well,
Yeah.
Okay, so the type of like Swedish hipster is like, it's very I almost feel like you can't really have a serious conversation with them. It's always very like jokey. It's very like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like he when I went, like, I was like, yeah, I sit for work. I'm a writer, so I sit and write all day. And he's like, oh, so you just type, blah, blah, blah. You just do this all day? And I'm like, yeah, I just do this all day. And then, oh God, we're not going to be able to talk about serious stuff, are we?
I mean, you just met him. You start light. You don't go from, oh, do you do this all day? And so I have depression. You don't just jump from it.
I think, so that's the thing.
Easy.
I think it's probably because I've hung out with like comics who are like open wounds. So it's just like, you just spread it. You just get deep really quickly. And but not even, the thing is, I didn't need to know about, how his childhood was or whatever. But, like you can talk about things, interesting things. The thing is, his conversation was basically, he kept talking about all the times he went out and got drunk. And he's like, yeah, I'm a bit hungover today because I was out last night. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then he was like, yeah. And then he talked about all the after parties he went to. And he's like, when you're at an after party and you just like, everybody just starts watching YouTube, and then you're just watching YouTube, like fail videos on YouTube. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did that when I was 21. Like, I'm 33, he's 30, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna work.
I mean, he lives on a boat. He hasn't had new memories on land for the past few years. So of course he has to revisit his 20-year-old memories.
No. Like, this is something he does now.
Oh, shit.
He does it now, Nigel.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like something he does as a 30-year-old now. And so I was like, oh, okay.
So I don't see why you didn't like him. He sounds just like a comic. Yeah, I just get drunk and sit around watching YouTube fail videos. How is it different from all your housemates who you live with and you love so much? Did you say when you were 21?
No.
You should. You should. Why are you holding back?
Because it's mean, right?
No, it's not mean. That's part of the charm. Okay, maybe that's how I talk. I would say, well, yeah, I did that when I was 21. Do you still do that? Like now?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, I'm out with the teenage. Okay, well, I'm into teenagers, fortunately, so good for you. But
Oh my God.
that's how I would spin it. I'll jokingly be mean. I mean, but that's my vibe. That's not your vibe. You're like a nice girl vibe, you know?
Nice girl vibe.
You don't say mean things even though you think it. You don't say mean things even though you think it.
Well, I mean, if I feel like they can handle it, I'll do it. If I feel like I'm like, oh, we're on the same page banter-wise, then I'll do it. But like this guy was, I don't know if he would have been offended if I would have done it, you know?
Well, you should have done it. If you got offended, you end the date early, save 2 hours, and can watch Netflix. You know?
Well, we did end it. We did. How early did we end it? Like an hour and a half? Because I realized, I was like, as we were talking, like I was like, oh, this is nice. But then I think we both realized, we were like, we're not clicking, are we? Because we really weren't clicking. And then at parts when I was like, oh, this is quite fun and exciting, and I would tell him something, he didn't react to the parts that people usually react to. So I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's
I don't think we're on the same page
the
here.
Telltale sign.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So,
But
I told him the story.
After all that, and you still think you have game on dates? Because what I'm hearing is very different from, the reality is very different from how you're describing it. Nigel, I actually have game. Flash forward 5 minutes later, everything I said, he just didn't get. There was no chemistry. I'm like, where is the game here? Where's the game? Where exactly is it?
Well, the game came from me very smoothly being like, because I wanted to end it, and I was like, oh, so what are you doing after this? He's like, oh, I'm going. He was going to another bar. Like, I was like, okay, you're going to another bar to hang out with, to go and drink with your friends and day drinking. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, so what tram are you getting from here? Basically, like, that's the game, isn't it? That's kind of having game. Like, I'm leading where this is going to go, right?
Okay, if you think that's game, sure.
No.
Sure. Sure. That totally is flirting. Yeah, talk about what public transport you're going to take. Totally flirting. Evelyn, so much game.
Well, I didn't want to, we didn't click, isn't it? Like, flirting is banter, and he didn't really get the banter.
Yeah, so how do you know you have game then? Because you told him to take public transport and he did? That's not... You have a very skewed version of what game is.
No, but game is game the thing that, I guess you're right. So is game making it work with anybody regardless? Even if you're not interested.
And sometimes, no, I think if you're not interested, then you could still have game, but there's no evidence of that yet.
Okay.
So we'll need to see
I get it.
with someone you're interested in, but also maybe if you're interested in him but he wasn't, you could turn it around. So I reserve judgment.
Yeah.
I think we need more data to determine if Evelyn has game.
Thank you, Nigel.
But what you said was game was not game.
Okay.
Like, what train you taking? I'm taking an Uber. Look at how much game I'm oozing. Uber Black, Uber Exact. What you taking? That's not game.
Well, the thing is, if I'm interested in someone, I can be quite charming. But I was like, oh, I definitely am not interested in this guy, because we just didn't click really. And like the things he said, I was like, oh, cool. So it was like, it wasn't. I mean, the thing is, I'm glad I went on the date. And it made me realize something bigger, which was like, oh, I tend to choose people that I think suits me, or that I think I should, or that I deserve. But then I realized, instead of choosing people I want, basically.
I mean, that's how we all choose, right? You know,
instead of choosing people you want.
I mean, you find the Venn diagram, that the intersection of people you think will take you and people you want. Yes, you don't get to have like most people date within their leagues. Okay, I'm not gonna go out with like a super hot rich model, but that's okay. You just settle for your little Venn diagram.
Yeah, but I think I've underestimated my league.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's what I think. I think I've underestimated my league. and realize that I'm like, oh, okay. I think I can. This is nowhere near where I'm supposed to be and where I want to be and stuff like that. So
he seems cool. Remember last week you were talking about, oh, he's quite vulnerable over text. He says he's nervous.
Yeah,
what
that
a change, huh?
Yeah, that might have been a mistake.
Yeah. Well,
but it was interesting in that way. But it's fun because now it's like, oh, I've broken the metaphorical hymen of not dating for so long. Because now when I go to London, I'm gonna be I want to just date.
Yeah.
Which to me, my definition of a whore is going on a lot of dates and being coy.
Evelyn has her own definitions for game and whore. Noted.
But yeah,
I'm totally gonna be a
nice.
whore. Gonna get so many coffee dates. The panties stay on. I'm a whore, but my panties stay on.
I'm getting back in. I'm doing a lot of emotional work at the moment, and it's coming. It's happening. We're seeing results.
Have you told
We're
Claudia?
seeing results, people.
Claudia, I'm trying to be a whore. Can you
I'm
whore
gonna
me
tell
up,
Claudia,
please?
Actually,
Whore me up for 60 pounds an hour, please.
50 again,
50,
Nigel.
okay.
50.
Whore me up, Claudia, for 50 pounds an hour.
I'm actually gonna talk to her tomorrow, so I'm gonna
At the
bring
end
this
of this
up,
therapy
yes.
session, I want to be comfortable enough to buy lingerie for my whore coffee dates.
Lingerie that nobody's gonna see, but I'll know that I'll be wearing them.
Yeah, it gives me confidence. I did go on a date recently where I found it a bit it was not a bad date, but it wasn't either of our faults. You know, it wasn't the chemistry was good, but she looked too much like my ex-wife. You know? Very similar names too, same hair color, and the face looks different. It's not that similar, but certain angles I can see similarities. And I was debating in my head, like, should I tell her? Because I think it's a weird thing to tell her. And then, but if I don't tell her, the next morning I have to pretend and be like, oh, I don't think we clicked. But then she knows, like, no, we did click. So why is he, like this?
Yeah.
So I decided to tell her. And yeah, it was weird. But it's like,
So what did she say?
sorry. She said, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. But thanks for telling me. And it's a bit of a bummer because I think you're cool and we get along. I'm having fun on this date. And it's a bummer.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice that she addressed it as well and was like adult about it and was like, yeah, okay, sorry.
It'd just be too
I
weird,
get
right?
it. Blah blah blah.
Because I'll see her and then I was like, oh no, she reminds me of, my ex.
Well, the thing is,
And then if
it's
my
in
ex-
your head.
If my ex meets her one day, because we're still friends, right? That'll be extra weird. No, so Nigel, this is your new me? This is your new me.
You're
Okay.
me.
Okay, I see why she's gonna think I'm not over her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is your new me? Oh, okay. Same height, same hair color, same way of dressing. Okay.
I mean,
Does she also like Le Creuset, Nigel? Does she also has she bought a Le Creuset and moved in with you, her Le Creuset? Does she also have Autolenghi cookbooks that she now puts on your shelf?
oh my God.
I was just trying to...
This is like
she's
a
gonna
rare
think I'm not-
glimpse into a rare glimpse into Nigel being vulnerable because you must have seen it as you were swiping, right? You must have seen the photos.
her
so
photos-
something in your
Her
subconscious
photos
was like,
were
this
further
is the
away.
one.
She doesn't have a lot of like close-up face photos.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were further away and she looked good, nice physique and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then I met up with her close up from certain angles. I was like, ooh, yeah, not good.
This is so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's a coincidence, isn't it? But it's hard. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it.
You're not. Oh, yeah. No, I get it. But the thing is, it's all in your head. It's all in your head. Because for her, obviously, it's not an issue because she didn't know your ex. But it's like for you, obviously, if you look at her and every time you're reminded of your ex, it's going to be weird. Yeah.
But I realize now,
yeah.
that's also a great excuse now. I might use this as an excuse for future dates if it doesn't get along. Listen, I'm really sorry to do this, and I think I'm having a lot of fun on this day, but I have to say you look just like my ex, and it's so weird. I know it's so weird. It's not your fault. It's definitely not you. But it's just so weird. You look totally like my ex, and I couldn't tell on the Hinge thing because photos and real life people look different, But just I think it would be weird. I think it'll be weird for you too, and I'm doing this for you. So, what tram are you taking?
Show me a photo of your ex.
I actually did. I actually wanted to. But then.
Oh, really?
I couldn't find. I mean, I don't have a folder of my ex's photos, so I had to scroll, and it was really awkward. But I found one, and it's her side view, and it was she could see it. She could see it. But that is a great reason now, isn't it? I stumbled over this new reason.
Oh
this
my
new
God.
excuse.
We have a rare moment of vulnerability for Nigel, and you immediately weaponize it to use on other people.
I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want to be well, I don't think we click. I don't think you're what I'm looking for, but I wish you the best of luck.
You know what? No. This is something that men need to get over themselves for. Why do you think we're brittle women? Just tell us. Just be oh, we didn't really click.
Because
Sorry.
1 in 100 women are psycho, and I'd rather not risk that.
Oh my God.
There's a percentage. Applies to men too. So you can use this as well. Just so you know, you look just like my ex from 8 years ago, who I fucked once. It applies to both sexes.
He's not even my ex. He's not even an ex.
Okay, well you can still just say, well, you remind me of my fuck buddy from 8 years ago.
Fuck buddy. Not even that.
Okay.
Not even that.
You remind whatever.
You
get the point.
Dude. Yeah.
You can take it, sure. Well, that's still debatable because the guy you like did that to you, and you moan about it to me. So
Oh, you mean? No, he didn't say anything like that.
I mean, he implied it heavily. Oh, you
mean rejection? Oh,
yeah.
He didn't say it, but
yeah. Sure, you handle it in the way that you didn't go psycho, which is very is good. But not every woman's like you.
But I'm not psycho. That's the thing. I'm what?
Some people are. So can you blame us for playing it safe?
I just think it's men being scared of being they're just oh my God, I don't want to hear no feeling. Just fucking be an adult. Use your words.
Well, tell that to those crazy women I've had to deal with. Tell them that.
All right.
So can you blame us? I'm saying you can use it too. There are psycho men out there as well.
Okay.
So don't be all holier than thou. Man, just say what you feel. Really, coming from the person who's oh, I did it when I was 21, but you thought it, but you didn't say it, What a hypocrite. We did this to protect ourselves.
That would be offending a person. That would be being mean to a person.
How would I know she wouldn't be offended? Right? I don't know her that well. Only met her once. But I'm going to use that excuse now. So... Real quick, listeners, if you're enjoying this podcast so far, please consider supporting us via our Patreon. Link is in the description of this podcast.
Yeah, and Patreon is a platform where you, listeners, can support your favorite creatives directly. So you sign up to a tier that best suits you. We have a few different tiers on our website, and then you get access to a bunch of our kind of bonus content and our Patreon exclusive Discord as well.
Yeah, for as little as $5 a month, you get all those bonus things that regular listeners don't get. And it's $5 a month, man. It's a pint of beer a month. That imagine buying us a coffee each month. That's it. That's it.
I like mine as an iced latte with decaf and oat milk.
Yeah, I'll take any coffee. I'm not demanding like Evelyn is. So go sign up to our Patreon. Link is in the description. We really appreciate you listening, and thanks for supporting.
Thank you so much.
Another thing I've been doing, I've been making a lot of carbonara because I want to, Italian garage Zio Ruggero, I'm going to pronounce it properly from now on, is a huge hit, and I think I'll probably be making carbonara someday. And I'm fascinated by the whole... What?
You haven't even released a video. How do you know that it's a huge hit?
Well, so many people watch the YouTube clip, the podcast clip. And they message me. I put an Insta story. They message me. They're like, we want to see it. So it's going to be a hit. Okay, people like it. And I'm going to do it. So I'm going to inhabit the character now. I'm practicing.
Oh my God.
And I want to
Oh my
practice
God.
the Italian egg fried rice.
Oh
Carbonara.
my God.
Yeah. Carbonara.
So you've been
So-
practicing making carbonara.
Yeah, I'm getting really good at it. I made it 3
Okay.
times now. Properly, guanciale,
Uh-huh.
pecorino, very good pasta from Waitrose. Oh, I know how to pick good pasta too.
Uh-huh.
Pasta, the whiter the pasta is, as in color-wise, the whiter it is, the better it is.
Uh-huh.
The longer it takes to cook, the better it is. Because that means it's dried over a longer period of time. The
Yeah.
shitty Tesco 85p yellow pasta, throw that in the bin, people. Stop eating that. Life is too short for shitty pasta. Okay?
Yeah.
If I go to someone's house and I see yellow pasta, no more. I'm leaving them. I'm saying, you look like my ex too much. I can't do this anymore. If I see
Oh
yellow
my
pasta in your house. But I bought this really nice, expensive pasta. Really good quality.
Uh-huh.
Really nice guanciale. Oh. And I went to Borough Market. They have an Italian shop there. So to get guanciale, so good, man. Guanciale just tastes so different. To pancetta, to bacon. You don't even know.
What's the flavors? I know. I've had
It's
guanciale.
pig cheeks. When? When did you have guanciale? When?
When I had carbonara.
Really? You did not use pancetta? You think they didn't lie to you? I used
I didn't.
pancetta?
I didn't make it myself.
Who made
I
it?
went-
Who made it? There are a lot of shitty
A
Italian restaurants out
restaurant.
there.
An Italian restaurant.
I've
where
seen
it said
Italian restaurants.
guanciale.
Okay, that's good. But it tastes really good. It's a richer aged
What?
pork flavor because it's from the
God.
cheeks.
Mhm.
And then the loveliest thing about guanciale is you cut it in like long-ish strips, and then when you fry them, the ends are crispy, but the middle is soft. Oh.
You sound like every time you talk about food or anything really,
Uh-huh.
where you just sound so pretentious.
What are you pretentious?
Nigel, you just sound so
And
pretentious.
do it properly. Is it pretentious to want to make a good dish? Is it pretentious to buy like expensive black pepper? Because when a carbonara has like 4 ingredients. So those 4 ingredients, you need to hit them out the park. If you have one shitty ingredient, that's 25% of your ingredients shit. That's why I buy like the best pecorino.
It still sounds so pretentious.
What? I do food-based comedy.
guanciale?
Yeah.
Guanciale, when you cut it in long strips and then you fry it and it becomes so crispy on the sides and so soft in the middle. It's so good. And the whiter the pasta, it means that it was dried in a different way. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. I'm Nigel. I'm so pretentious.
I don't hear anything pretentious about that. All I hear is someone who knows how to enjoy life, the finer things in life, who takes time to appreciate food, who
Oh my
enjoys
God.
it. Instead of someone who just eats like microwave pasta.
Yeah,
Microwave,
that's me.
2 minutes. You are the one me to be like that? The least pretentious guy? 2 minutes, finish, done,
Why does the mmicrowave pasta person sound like that? Why do you make the microwave pasta person sound like
That's
that?
the opposite of how I sounded. 2 minutes, That's my new character. Microwave pasta guy. Oh, this thing? Got from the gas station, bro. 2 minutes. Lunch is ready 2 minutes. Yeah. So much time for PlayStation, Netflix.
Oh my God.
It all sticks together because it's not fresh at all.
Is this how you feel when I talk about my emotional stuff? Because it's making my brain hurt to listen to you talk about this. It's so pretentious, Nigel.
It's my work. I'm going to review a carbonara video one day or make carbonara. It's
Oh
coming.
my
I'm trying to
God.
collab with this known Italian chef, YouTube chef,
Okay,
It's coming, people.
okay.
So I need to get my carbonara right. I need to learn the proper way to do it. Then I know how to break the rules, Because I want to
I
put
know how to break
MSG in there somewhere. To break the rules, you have to first know the rules.
You're gonna put MSG.
I need to
into
have some sort of
carbonara?
if Uncle Raj is going to make carbonara, it needs to have some sort of Asian spin on it,
You put it into the eggs because MSG goes really, really well with eggs. So just a pinch of MSG in eggs.
I think I'm going to do that and maybe salt the pasta water with MSG.
No, you don't need to salt the pasta water.
No,
Just put it
you
into-
have to salt the water.
I mean, no, not with MSG. You don't have to salt it with MSG. You just put it into the eggs, and then the eggs are gonna coat everything in the dish anyways.
I think you need to do both. Because sometimes,
Okay.
guanciale, it depends on your batch of guanciale. I happen to get a very fatty one, so there's a lot of grease. So it emulsifies with the pasta without needing extra pasta water. But sometimes you need some extra pasta water you pour in, so you will taste the pasta water. The pasta water
Okay.
flavors the pasta too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll have a slight MSG tinge to it. MSG is mostly salt anyway, and it has a meaty overtone. And I think that will go well because guanciale has a meaty overtone too. So I think it will mesh really well together. So that's going to be my little MSG carbonara. Uncle Roger's MSG carbonara. Right?
Oh my
Like only the best ingredients.
I'm very excited to see this now.
Yeah.
I am very excited. It's gonna be so weird.
My next purchase is going to be like a big ass pepper grinder. So, the ones you use at restaurants.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
when you buy ground black, first of all, don't buy ground black pepper. You ground it, it instantly
Oh
loses its
my
flavor.
God.
Only buy black peppercorns, okay? But if you don't have a grinder, you have to buy the shitty black peppercorns, the Tesco ones. Ugh, they come in a shelf. Ugh.
I've realized what it is, Nigel.
What?
I've realized what it is. You sound like a person who's just, learned about something and then is so excited to tell everybody about what they've learned.
Yeah, I was making carbonara
Yeah.
wrong this whole time. That's exactly it. And I realized how good it
But
can
the
be.
thing is, everybody else knows
Really?
that it's like, of course,
Guanciale.
everybody knows that, of course, whole black pepper is better than like grounded black pepper already. But you don't get it because you're like, it's more convenient in everyday life and stuff. When you want to fancy it up, sure.
Is it more
get the whole
convenient?
ground pepper
Is it
and
more
then
convenient
just
to
grind
go
it yourself?
this instead of this? They're both equal in terms of convenience, right?
Nobody does that. Like, yeah, just
No. Never go.
Just
Never get ground black pepper. You might as well just eat dust. Let's eat sawdust. If you're eating ground black pepper, stick with sawdust. It tastes the same.
you're the worst. You're the worst.
But I'm very excited. I'm gonna make like a carbonara video. The same way I was
Mm-hmm.
obsessed with ramen, and I still am. And I'm still eating, I'm getting weekly deliveries from Matsudai Ramen, this guy who runs a ramen shop out in Wales. He does ramen home
Really?
kits. Yeah, I have it every week now. Sometimes two deliveries a week. Because it's just,
Oh.
mwah. And I also bought a blowtorch. So when the char siu is ready, I can just torch it a bit, char it a little bit, make it a little bit crispy. Ooh, a blowtorch, baby.
Oh my god, this is
love
so funny. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear what you next learn about.
Well, I'm sharpening my knives now, but I've bought a Japanese whetstone, 600
Why?
10,000, I think. Yeah. Well, you
What?
want sharp knives, right? There are different grades of whetstone. So
Oh,
coarse
I
one is
see.
to fine ones. The coarse one is to sharpen the knife. Fine one is to polish it off, make it even sharper. So, but anyways, we're getting too much into this. But I bought a blowtorch, and sometimes when you buy expensive things or good quality things,
Uh-huh.
and then they give you like a warranty card inside, and then you have to fill in the warranty card, and they want you to mail it back to them for the warranty to be valid. Have you ever done that before?
What? I've never heard of that.
You've bought stuff that comes with a warranty card inside, right? Have you?
I mean, yeah, but you don't have to fill it in. I mean, oh my god.
They ask you
don't
to.
have to fill it in and send it. I've never done. This just tells me that all the things I've buy have never been expensive.
Yeah. Oh, she buys disposable
I've never
stuff.
had to do that. I've never had to do that. Yeah, it's disposable. Like most of my stuff, when I buy it, I'm like, okay, this is gonna last maximum 2 years, I think, if I'm lucky. And then if it doesn't work anymore, I'll just throw it out and I'll buy it again.
Yeah, it's supposed to break. When it breaks, you're like,
supposed to
yeah,
break.
expected this.
Yes. I have nothing expensive. Nothing of value.
This is how you should
except
treat
for
your
my
friends,
heart.
I don't think your heart's that valuable. It's full of diabetes
What?
and hypertension. Nobody wants your heart, okay? If you get in a car crash and like some guy's dying of heart disease and need a heart transplant and they show them your heart, no, I'd rather die. I don't want this.
That's so
That's
mean.
extra trouble for me, like 2 years. No thanks. Give me a better heart. Give me a better heart.
That's so mean. And I'm not talking about my physical heart. I'm talking about my metaphorical emotional heart.
I mean, that's not great either. You know how many issues you have. Can that be a sketch? Can that be a sketch? Like someone who's in need of a something transplant, a lung transplant.
Yeah.
And then bring him a shitty lung. He's a pretentious guy in need of a lung transplant.
You!
And then he takes a monocle out. Oh, no. He's a smoker. That's a smoker's lung. I can see it from a mile away. See here and here? And here it's all grayed out. Ugh. Bring me a better lung, woman. Ugh. I didn't pay for private for a smoker's lung. What am I, in NHS? Am I in an NHS hospital? Last I checked, I paid for it to stay here. What is this? A socialized healthcare? So with a socialized lung? No thanks. Take it back. I want to see the manager. Take it back.
This is just you acting out your future.
A Karen who's in need of a heart transplant.
A Karen who's in need. I want to talk to the manager, please.
Yeah.
That's funny.
This is bad service. So yes, neither of your hearts are valuable. Sorry to say this, Evelyn. I feel as a friend, to be honest.
I have a very big heart. I have a very big heart,
I think
actually,
it's a condition.
Metaphorically and physically.
It's a condition called angina or something.
Yeah. We both made the same joke. But I do have a big heart, Nigel, and it's full of love for people. I organized my friend's baby shower this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah. Me and my friends, we organized. Did you play that because it means that they had sex to have a baby?
No, I just thought babies are cute. I was trying to make a pedo joke.
Nigel! Disgusting.
No, hipster pedophile. I go for the fetuses. I go for the baby before it was cool. I go for the embryo. I look at a CT scan and I wank to it, you know? No, it's not a CT scan. What's it called? It's called ultrasound. I only wank to ultrasounds.
So disgusting.
You wanted to say, riff with me. Why don't you ever riff with me? Because you don't riff with me too sometimes, which I don't complain about because you don't like talking about pedophilia. You know?
Riff with me on my stuff.
I do.
I can't deal with it.
You said it's a good sketch.
I'm just
hipster pedophile.
I just can't. I just want to do a podcast recording.
And then he's talking about ultrasounds like it's wine, like years.
Oh my God, just shut up.
This was a 2005. That was a good year.
Shut up, Nigel. Stop.
This is a 2018 Merlot.
Oh my God.
Why Merlot? That's a child's name. Merlot Smith. That's a sketch.
Really don't
The pretentious pedophile.
I think you should do it as a stand-up bit. It's oh my God.
Describing it like wine years.
Oh God.
This one is very full-bodied. Okay.
It's awful.
Okay.
It's awful.
So, what about your baby shower? Okay.
I don't
Tell me about the baby shower.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk
No
about
more
it.
pedo jokes for the rest of the podcast. I promise.
I don't want to talk about it.
Tell me. First, you shoot down vegan slave owner. Then you shoot down the pretentious pedophile.
Oh my God.
You're censoring me. I'm writing this down. Pretentious pedophile to be a sketch idea. Okay. So, baby shower. What's up with that? What's up with the baby shower? What happened? Tell me.
You're the worst person.
What?
I
want to know about your baby shower.
You're the worst. Awful. Awful. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, so what happened? Tell me. I'm listening now.
Basically, we had a baby shower for my best friend, Suhan, and her husband. It's Shoe Tree.
Yeah.
Shoe
For
Petter.
listeners who haven't listened to that episode yet, but when I was visiting Gothenburg, I met Suhan, Evelyn's best friend and only friend, and her husband. And I was bitching about my shoes because I didn't bring Shoe Tree with me to the hotel. I forgot to bring it, and I left it at home. And my shoes were trying to my cobbler, very properly made British handmade shoes were starting to curl up a little bit, and I was like, oh no, I need to maintain its shape. So Peter was nice enough to give me a few shoe trees. Yeah, very classy guy. Very classy guy. I'm Team Peter all the way.
He is very classy. And he so we had a baby shower for them because she's due in July. And it was really lovely. But what I realized was, like, women do so many things for each other. Like, we do so much stuff for each other to make each other feel like loved. Like, we do baby showers, we do like surprise parties, and like we have conversations with each other about emotional stuff. Like, we talk about things with each other. And I was reading this article in Harper's Bazaar about a term called emotional gold digging.
Evelyn's reading. First, you start with Medium articles, and then you start with magazines, Harper's Bazaar. Before you know it, there'll be a book in your future. Oh my God. She's dating, she's reading. This is a different person.
This isn't, Nigel, this isn't riffing. This isn't riffing. This is shitty.
Yeah. I'm just adding some color to your story before you carry on. You admit you don't read. You admit
Yes,
it, yeah. So what? I'm
because my
supposed to not
eyes
say
are
anything?
fucked.
When I see an opportunity for humor, should I not pounce on it?
Why is your opportunity for humor like debasing people?
I don't know if you know this, Evelyn, but that's kind of what I do. It's kind of what I do.
I'm looking for collaboration here, not roast.
We'll have both. And also, you
really
can
have
roast
both,
me
Nigel?
back. You can roast me. You do roast me back. I love it.
Yeah, I've started to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have collaboration.
I can't believe this is your love language.
What's wrong with that?
Getting roasted.
I just need to find a woman whose love language is getting humiliated, in more ways than one. Let's put it that way. And I will find one. Okay? We are different people. We have different love languages, and that's okay.
Well, apparently, according to my attachment style, I'm a very big self-sacrificer, which I have identified that I am.
That's why it works well on the podcast,
Yeah, I
you
know.
just take it.
But the thing is, I did not reflect on it until I started to work with Nigel. And I was like, wait a minute.
Stop reflecting. The podcast is going to go downhill.
Doesn't feel good at all.
If you're psychologically healthy, the podcast is going to be good. So stop reflecting, please. Stop reflecting. No more reflection. Okay. Hey.
Why is he being so mean to me?
Shh. You don't need to think about that. You're thinking too much.
Is this funny?
You don't need to think
Really?
about that. Don't need to think about that. Hey, you shut up with my guanciale passion. My passion for guanciale.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
did.
like,
Yeah,
yes. Yes, it is exactly what you say. But yes, you started reading and
You're such a dick. I have read an article, and it talked about the term emotional gold digging, which is what some men do to women. It's basically because growing up in our society, it's still very gendered. So when it comes to feelings and emotions, those things have been deemed a female trait and female activities. And men have kind of been demonized kind of historically for showing any feelings because that's perceived as weakness rather than healthy emotional life. So there's this term called emotional gold digging, which means that when a man then either the only place that he can talk about his emotions is with women. So either they will do it with their partner, and so their partner becomes like everything to them. Like they become their confidant, their therapist, their cheerleader. Basically, men then are dumping all of their emotional needs onto their female partners or the women in their life. And then that kind of makes it that those women then have to carry out that extra emotional labor for the man at the same time as looking after their own emotional life. And this is because men don't have the same kind of outlets for emotions like women do. Because women, we have platonic friendships where we are very emotionally literate and we share about our feelings and talk about these stuff. And men, you just grab beers and talk about sports. You don't talk about emotions. So you don't have
big generalization.
Like, male,
but I see where you're coming from. You get the gist of it, right?
Yeah, it's a generalization, of course. But like you don't have like these kind of male platonic friendships where you can talk about emotions.
Agreed.
And so that happens. Like a lot of men then seek out women to do this. And in the article, then she explored some people who had tried to resolve this, and they had started their own groups, kind of like group therapy with their friends, where they gather like once a month or something and talk about emotional stuff, or once a week. But it's really, really interesting because emotional golding, that's something that I've experienced.
I have a solution too. I think that's why men should have multiple partners. So you don't just dump everything on one. You dump half, you dump the other half on. That's what I mean. I just, honey, I live in an open relationship because I don't want to be an emotional gold digger, honey. I'm doing this for you.
Or a solution could be that we actually encourage men to start talking about their emotions with each other and go to therapists and stuff.
I think that's a better solution. You're right. Therapist is better than multiple partners. You're right.
Because I think this is something that I've experienced, like just talking to a man, and it's just like they just divulge all of these emotional stuff, and you're like, okay, well, I'll talk to you about it, but this doesn't seem healthy to me, and it seems very one-sided.
Are you hinting at the guy you're interested in? Are you hinting at that? To be fair, you did talk to him for 7 hours on the phone, so it's kind of like a signal that you want him to open up to you?
But no. Well, the thing is, he just did it immediately.
Oh. Okay.
He opened up immediately.
And then you stayed on the line for 7 more hours. So it's kind of...
Well, it was an exchange. Was it an exchange?
All I'm saying is you can't be surprised, oh my God, this guy dumped everything on me, when you are the one who's like letting it go on, I think you have a response. If you don't want him to dump everything on you, you just say, hey, I think we just met. It's a bit much. I like you, but I think I have my own emotional shit that I'm dealing with, per the discussion on every episode of the podcast. So can we talk about something else? We're going to talk about the emotional stuff next time we talk. Something like that. You need to...
Well, that's the thing. I mistook it for intimacy.
Oh.
Because that's kind of how... I don't know if it's aware. I don't know if it's... But it's kind of how it goes, because it's like... Oh, okay.
It's becoming a theme with you. Is
this intimacy?
Yeah, it's becoming a theme with you. Like you have different definitions for terms, like game, whore, and intimacy. Evelyn, my dad hit me as a kid. Wow, he's so intimate with me.
Well, if somebody reveals that to you, you do become. You're like, oh, you're trusting me with this information.
Yeah, but you're right. Sometimes it's just emotional gold digging.
Yeah, it's emotional gold digging. And so I'm like, but it's such an interesting thing, because I think this is something that happens with a lot of women, that they become the listeners, as a guy is like going and being like this and blah, 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 and my feelings and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, you're sitting there and you're trying to be empathetic and understanding and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is like, it's emotional gold digging. And it's also, but then it can be mistaken for intimacy, because you're like, oh, okay, he needs to talk and he wants to talk to me about it. But then you come away from it feeling exhausted.
Yeah.
And you're like, what happened really? And it was kind of one-sided.
You should make him pay you £50 an hour then, because he's actually his therapist, right?
I know. That's what happens. Yeah. But I mean, it's not just men who do it. Sometimes, you have friends who do it as well, where you're like, oh, this is a bit much right now. Yeah. And then it can be different periods of your time, because there's something called emotional dumping as well, where a person just dumps all of this thing.
Actually, I thought of something. I think that's why people should take up smoking. You know? Yeah, then you have to leave the room. Huh? Once someone starts, oh, you want to smoke? Sorry, I need to smoke, so I'll be right back, yeah? You get a smoke. Sorry, I only have one left, so I can't, even if you wanted to smoke, I can't really give you one, so, I'll see you in 15 minutes. And then you come back, when you smoke, you finish, you come back, you segue, you change the topic.
You segue, yeah.
I think
that's funny.
I think women should take up smoking. That's a solution
you think
here.
All women should take up smoking because men can't handle their emotions.
Yeah, let me finish. Men should get therapy and women should take up smoking. A two-pronged solution. In legal terms, it's called belts and braces. So you have the solution, the belt, but just in case, you also have the braces to keep your pants on.
And so you want women to like diminish their health as a collective just because men can't handle their emotions. Yeah, but they're going to take up therapy.
On average, women live longer anyway. So if you want equality, diminish your lifespan a little bit. Then we're equal, Win-win-win.
So what's normal for you? What's the normal time span for you to be vulnerable with somebody?
I don't know. It depends on the vibe of the person.
The vibe of the person.
Couple dates in, after the sex usually.
Just right after
Not
sex?
right after sex. You can't just come and start crying about your childhood.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny.
Oh, can I call your face, baby? Oh
my God.
Stop it, over her. As the cum still dripping from her face, You can't do that. You can't mix cum with tears. It's too much. It's just... But
I just can't. It's just...
You can't mix cum with tears. That is funny.
I mean, it's not original.
What? Who said it? Who said it?
To you. Every male comedian
ever. Fine. Okay, whatever.
Jim Jeffries has a great bit where he says that he was on cocaine and he was trying to masturbate and he couldn't come because he was on cocaine, and then he started crying and then the tears dripped on his penis and they became the lubricant.
Different joke. Yeah, but I get it.
Better executed.
Similar vibes. Okay. Yeah. But I don't know. It depends on where the conversation goes. Some people are more receptive to emotional stuff than others. It's a feeling thing. Yeah. Use feeling.
And I will distinguish. It's not vulnerability, because the thing is, I will say, it's emotional dumping. It's emotional dumping first. And then vulnerability, I still think, is something that you will engage in with somebody that you trust, and that'll come later. Okay. But it's emotional dumping.
What's the line between
from the first
talking about emotions versus emotional dumping? Where's the line?
Emotional dumping is usually that it's one-sided. It's usually quite repetitive. So the person doesn't really want any input. They just want to, they just want to say whatever they want to say. Mm-hmm. And they're not necessarily looking for a solution. They just want to vent it out. But it's not venting either, because venting is like, okay, I got that out of my system, it's done. But emotional dumping is usually that the person is still thinking about the issue and they don't necessarily want a solution, and that'll be kind of like one of the few topics that they will talk about when they talk with you.
Like me and my guanciale.
So it's like repetitive conversation. Sorry?
Like me and my guanciale. Is that emotional? No, okay.
Yeah.
That is a good definition. Yeah. And I think I've definitely done that to you. You've done that to me too.
Have you? You haven't done that to me.
Well, when I was going through all this psycho-Swedish bitch shit. Does that count?
Nigel. No, you talk about things and then you move on.
Oh.
You don't emotionally dump. You don't.
Wait, so they talk about things and they talk about it again?
Yeah, it's one of few conversations that they talk, one of few topics that they keep coming back to. Yeah.
Oh.
And there's if you were to and there's no solution to it, like they don't want to solve it almost. It's just like this is this is my gripe in life and I'm going to talk about it. And the thing is, it can be limited to maybe they're going through something traumatic and they are in the midst of it and they're trying to, they're just so hurt at the moment. So, there are things like that. But then there are also things where people can hold on to something for a very, very long time and just not be able to let it go and not have maybe the tools to kind of work through it. And that's also emotional dumping. Okay. But it's like, it's if you're being a recipient of it, then you'll recognize it because it's like, you're like, okay,
this again.
You don't want to hear what I say. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So if anything, I would think that you would feel that I've done it to you, but I hope that I haven't.
I don't
or
think
that I've stopped if I have.
I think it's fine. I think that's part of being friends, right? Every now and then, you have to be emotionally dumped on. That's how you know your friends.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
See?
That's very true.
So much empathy, man. That's
very true. But I think that's something with emotional gold digging.
Yeah.
It's like,
can we talk about the baby shower, please? Instead of this psychology lecture.
I just find it really interesting. This is
your guanciale. Emotional dumping is your guanciale.
It is my guanciale. All of this like emotional stuff. Yeah,
I can think this is pretentious too. Oh,
really?
Evelyn uses terms like emotional dumping. I just call it venting and talking and being friends. But oh no, she has used proper psychological terms. What? Just because you read Carl Jung and Harper's Bazaar,
It's not. Why would Carl Jung write something for Harper's Bazaar? First of all, he's dead. Second of all, Harper's Bazaar.
No, I was trying to make a joke about how you read psychology books. It's also trashy, like magazines.
This was just an article, and it wasn't coined by a psychologist. It was coined by,
Evelyn
I think, a journalist.
Coined by you.
Yeah, it was coined by me. But it was coined by a journalist on Twitter somewhere. But I just recognize it because I'm like, this is literally, I've gone through this with like 3 men that I know.
Really?
So I've gone through this with like 3 different people. And it's like, it's not vulnerability because vulnerability is different. Vulnerability is when you actually show who you are and show the kind of, it's when you kind of get, emotionally naked.
It feels more using you than vulnerability.
Exactly. Yeah. It's more like, I just need to talk to somebody and get this out. Mm-hmm. And it kind of comes from, I think, people who either they're not having their needs met emotionally, or they're not having, they don't know how to self-soothe, which is another term.
Oh no, here we go.
Which is
masturbating.
Like handling your own emotions and stuff.
Oh.
But
masturbating for your soul.
Yeah, yes.
Wanking your soul, jerking off your soul. That's
jerking off your soul.
Yeah.
Yes, Nigel. Let's translate it for you.
Yeah.
It's like masturbating, but for your soul and your emotional life.
What that mean? Oh, jerking off your soul. Oh yeah, I get it now. I get it now. I don't know what that voice is. The dumb guy. The dumb guy voice. I get it now. Jerking off for your soul. Keeps your heart healthy, yeah. Dale, let me tell you something, man. You gotta jack off your soul too sometimes, Dale.
Who's Dale?
I don't know. I'm thinking of a white guy name. Kyle.
Chet Hanks.
Yeah, Kyle, you gotta jack your penis off, jack your heart off sometimes, Don't just jack off your penis. It's not good for you mentally.
That's a sketch, yeah. Nigel.
I don't give a shit about mental health, but I jack off my heart sometimes. Yeah, that's translating mental health to bro-y guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's write it down.
That's really funny. Translating. Have you heard of this term, man? Yeah. That's
emotional
really funny.
dumping. What's that, bro? Sometimes I ask you to come over to play FIFA, and then you just you start talking about your problems, bro. That's emotionally dumping. Don't do that, bro. We come here to play FIFA, okay?
No, you should be able to do that. You should talk about your problems with your friends.
That's true. Sorry, I did.
It's not
That is
the
true.
same. It's not the same.
Translating mental health into your bro friends for your bro friends.
Oh my god.
That's a sketch, man. That's a sketch. So
It is a sketch.
you come up with like what anxious attachment, and then I have to translate it. It'll be like a therapist translator.
Yeah,
Sir, I think you have
translator.
anxious attachment issues. How do you translate that? That's when bro, when you grow up, your mom didn't love you enough, bro. And then now you just feel like you just want love from everywhere. You don't feel like you're comfortable when someone likes you. You know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, remember how you
like
fucked Sarah and then the next day you're like, does she even like me, bro? That's anxious attachment, bro. Yeah, that's you. That's you. You're actually attached to Sarah, bro.
But actually, you could just look at the situation and be like, she had sex with me.
Yeah, you gotta be objective, man. Your penis was in her vagina. So you good, bro. High five.
So funny.
We got it. We got a good sketch.
It's really funny. It's so funny. Oh my god. It's so funny. It's so funny.
We're gonna make this sketch.
Oh my god. Oh.
I'm gonna stop pitching. I mean, you're gonna just start shooting. You know? We do it for short 1 minute thing for IGTV, whatever. You can be the therapist. It's just the two of us. You'll play all the characters.
Okay. Can we wear wigs?
Yeah, and then I'll wear a tank top because I'm playing the bro character.
Yeah.
Give me another psychology term. And then I'll try to translate it.
Oh my god. Another psychology
Yeah.
term?
Let's try one more.
Okay, so wait, what have we talked about?
Emotional dumping.
Gold digging, anxious attachment. What about holding space?
Okay, what's holding space? Tell me. I gotta translate
holding
it.
space. When you're holding space for somebody is when somebody tells you something vulnerable or shares a trauma with you, and you hold space for them basically by just listening and also empathizing and not passing judgment.
Okay, bro, holding space, bro. You know when you go to the gym, bro, and then you want to spot someone and they bench press, and then they fail on their last rep. You want to help them rack the bar, but you don't want to talk about it afterwards. You rack the bar, but you don't tell them, bro, that was weak, bro. 50 kilos, and you fail 50 kilos. What happened, bro? What happened? So that's what you need to give them some space. You gotta hold space. They're feeling shit about it, bro. You gotta tell them it's okay. Maybe you bring it up, you joke about it in like 2 weeks from now, but you don't joke about it then, bro. It's not nice, man.
Nigel, you're really good at this. You're so good at talking, bro. This is so funny. Oh my god. It's so
The sketch is done.
It's done. Oh my god. What else can I come up
Nah,
with?
we should end it there. 3 is a good end on a high note. 3 is a good thing to end on.
It's so funny.
We'll continue the baby
Oh my
shower
God.
story next week, people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go make my carbonara now. See ya.
Bye, guys.